Hi, welcome back to Grammar and Thongs, and we're doing another spelling lesson today. So we're looking at these two suffixes, able and ible. They both mean the same thing, able to, as in if something is able to be believed, then it's believable. But the tricky bit is knowing whether to use able or ible, and I'm going to give you some tips now on how to know which way to go. The first really good idea is to think about whether there's a whole word at the beginning of what you're trying to say, like believe at the beginning of believable. So if we look at these examples here, all of these ones that start with a whole word end in able, and that's usually the case. So we've got comfortable, fashionable, but valuable has an E. And the second rule I want you to remember is that if there's an E at the end of the word, you drop it. So you have valuable without the E. Same with love, drop the E and have lovable. And you'll see our example of believable also drop the E following that rule. If you look at words that end in ible, they tend to begin just with these sort of roots of words rather than whole words like terrible, horrible, visible. And often you can trace back that root. So vis, invisible, means the ability to see or something to do with vision. And that's where we get the word vision and visor and all of those words beginning with vis that have to do with sight. Possible is another example, and responsible. Now, responsible does sound a bit like a whole word at the beginning, response, right? So why isn't it able? Well, that brings in another rule, and that is if the word ends in an S or a C that sounds like an S, a soft C, then it's ible. So responsible, invincible, okay? And also if it's a soft G, and I mean by that words like tangible. So you can see that's a J sounding soft G compared to a hard G, which in this case, we go with able. So huggable. The G there is G, hard, instead of the J of tangible, soft and hard. And then the rule goes across to hard Cs as well. If it's a hard C, like applicable, instead of a soft C like invincible, then it's able. Hard C or G, able, soft C or G, ible. So they are some of the rules to do with ible and able. There are a couple of other tips, and I'll give them to you now. Right, tip number 1. As we said, if the word being modified ends with an E, drop the E. Valuable, drop the E, able. Tip number 2, as we've said, if the words end in an S or that soft C sound, then it's going to use ible. Tip number 3, this is a good one. If the word being modified begins with an A, then it probably ends with able, the suffix that starts with A. So if you look at these examples here, arguable, A and able. Available, same thing. Agreeable, same thing. If we do one more, we start with the word advise, and it's got an E, so we have to drop it, and it started with A, so we go able. And the last tip, for those of you who want a rule to follow when you have to guess because you just don't know. Well, more words end in able than ible. So if you have to guess, go with able. Okay, thanks.